the chief stick to beat Neymar with when he was with Santos was the fact that he was a very big fish in a very small pond. You know, he had it all his own way in the Brazilian league. You know, he's winning free kicks very, very easily. He was overruling managers for penalty decisions. He very quickly outgrew the environment in which he grew up. This is the transfer that very nearly brought the Barcelona empire crumbling down. Led to Sandro Rosell, the president, losing his job. And all sorts of investigations were going on from within the club and outside the club to find out where, in fact, this money had come from and where it had gone to.
He had no say over how much was spent on him. Obviously, it came up twice as well because there were the question marks in the first place at the time of the transfer, and then it all blew up later in the season as well. At a time, of course, when the player was injured himself, so there wasn't an awful lot he could do in terms of deflecting the criticism away.
It's been a season where new manager, new chairman, president, problems with personal problems with his dad, the way the contract was signed, which sometimes these things don't have an effect on the players because agents someone from outside. But being his dad involved, I think it really had an effect on him and an effect on his game. I think Neymar's first season for Barcelona is been positive. It's been a really tough season for him. Coming from South America to a club like Barcelona, a club, don't forget, that is used to win everything, where Messi is, the player he is, the impact he has in the team. So I think he's found his place in the team, which I think is difficult when you arrive a team with so many stars. Find your space and your place, and he has done that.
It's difficult for any player that goes to Barcelona, regardless of age, position, fee, to really emerge from the shadow of Lionel Messi, cast such a big aura over the club, and certainly I think Neymar found that difficult in his first season. His position sort of changed from game to game. Injuries to Messi then meant that he had to assume extra responsibility, and he struggled, if we're being honest about it, to really live up to the superstar billing that he had when he joined Barcelona. But for a first season at a club like that, at the age he is, it was a more than fair return, what he accomplished in his first season.
I think that the player will need some time to settle in, because it's a different system. If you haven't played that before, it's going to take time to adjust to it. But you can see that Neymar is a fantastic football player, and I think in my experience is that great football players very rarely have a hard time playing with each other.
But it's been key in the key games. That's why I think Martino always stuck to him, because the talent is there, no doubt, and can only expect to be even better next season. But personally, I think it's been good for Barcelona. It could be better. It definitely will be better next season. But in a difficult season like this one, has been for not just for himself, for the club. I think it's been really good.
The moment you step off the plane in Brazil, you realise just how much of a superstar Neymar is. He's just as much as Pelé almost, because every advert, every billboard, every shirt has number 10 and his name on the back. He is a superstar over there.
For my money, Neymar's impact on this World Cup, even beyond his football, has been phenomenal. He's got the weight of a nation behind him, behind a Brazil team that hasn't performed as many expected. And his qualities, again, on the pitch have been proven to be second to none.
When it comes to the World Cup, Brazil always looks at that number 10, and Neymar has responded to that very, very well.
You look down that Brazilian line when they're standing for the national anthems, and they're afraid. You know, they're crying, they're shouting. There's all these outward displays of passion. But you look at Neymar, and he's the calmest guy on the field, and he's the youngest player on the team. Now, he has really taken to heart what Scolari has asked from him. He's become the team's talisman, he's become their most creative asset, he's become their best player very, very quickly. And yeah, this Brazil team is very functional, but one thing that they'll always have in their favour when Neymar is fit is that unique goal threat that only he possesses.
But at the end of the day, he was the heartbeat, and that squad played for him. The entire kind of thinking of Felipe Scolari was that I've got Neymar, and then we just build around him, and you could see why when he turned it on for Brazil during the World Cup.
Neymar's injury did play a big part in that huge 7-1 defeat to Germany, because the whole country was crushed when he got that back injury in the quarter-final against Colombia, and they found out he would be out of the tournament. They lost their hero, they lost the guy who they thought could win in the World Cup.
Neymar's had a terrific World Cup. He's had to take on an incredible amount of responsibility. He's got the weight of a nation on his shoulders, and the way that he performed, not just in terms of his goals and his skills, but as a real leader of men at the age of just 22, to see someone of that age take on that measure of responsibility and excel was fantastic, and that can only stand him in good stead when he returns to Barcelona.
Well, from a psychological point of view, this World Cup for me has been illustrative, because Neymar played like he actually believed it was his destiny to carry Brazil to the World Cup until his injury. And for me, that level of ego has got rich benefits, because it means that he isn't aware of his own limitations and he wants to take on more and more of the responsibility. And we did see that at Barcelona. He's got no inferiority complex, Neymar. Looking at him at the age of 22, Brazil are building their team around him. You know, so that for me shows that he's capable of carrying this burden. A new broom sweeps clean at Barcelona in time for the next campaign, and things will be a little bit more calm, and maybe the expectations will be reined in a little bit more. But I do expect Neymar to play a huge part in what will be a resurrection season for Barcelona next season.